Hello students, I welcome to you once again because in the last lecture we have got idea about introduction to the plant physiology. In that one we have studied little bit history and applications of the plant physiology. Plant physiologists can work in any branch of a plant sciences that you have to keep in mind. That's why that is the most important scope and application of a plant physiology is there. He may can work in biochemistry also, biotechnology, biochemistry, bioinformatics. So where advanced branches are there, in that one also he will be able to work, he will be able to give his contribution either in research or I have to say that to discover the new things I have to say that or to develop new high yielding plant variety as per the need of a human being. My friends, you have to keep in mind in this year we know that we have been learning a plant physiology. Paper second is there, isn't it? And in this paper second, credit 3 is there, and from that credit 3, unit first, and that unit first, second, we have to say that plant water relations topic we have to learn, and in that one, first we have to get idea about the in case of the tissues, in case of the structure of the cell. Structure of the cell is well known to you, my friends. As you know that in case of each and every multicellular organism, I have to say that multicellular organism, the organism which is composed of, made up of, we have to say that the many tissues, many cells. So that is multicellular organism is there. We know the simple structure of cell. In case of plant cell we have to talk. There is a outer cell wall is there. That cell wall which is a dead one. You have to keep in mind. Most of the time it is asked question in MPSC, UPSC which is the dead part of the plant cell. That at the time you have to write the cell wall is there. Now cell wall is followed by the plasma membrane. Inside the plasma membrane we know that there is a cytoplasm, then inside there is a nuclear membrane and nuclear material is there in the nucleus is there. So this is a simple, but we have to say that you have to keep in mind the structure of a cell. After that one we have to study about the tissue, and before that one, as we have studied the structure of the cell, what is the definition of a cell? Because you are the SYBS student, you should know that the structural and functional unit of the organism, that is known as a cell. Keep in mind, my friends, cell is the structural and functional unit of the living organism. As like we know that whenever we want to construct any wall, we have to keep a brick on one brick on another, like that when we are constructing. Similar way, in case of the cell is there, isn't it? Many cells compose the, we have to say that the tissue, then organ too. So this is the, we have to say that little bit structure of a organism is there. We know that very well. Now the tissue, as we have studied the definition of the cell, we have to get idea about the tissue. Tissue is nothing but the group of cells, not that is the only definition of that one. Always we have to say that group of cell. No, not at all. What we have to, this group of cells having same structure, same function and its origin. Keep in mind, and its origin. So this is the complete definition of a tissue is there, that you have to keep in mind. Now we have to get idea today about the plant tissues. We know that dermal tissue system, dermal in the sense the which are forming the outer covering, isn't it? And function is protection. Second one, vascular tissue system is there. Third one, ground tissue is there. As per the name, we have to say that they are functioning. Dermal tissue, skin tissue, outer tissue, they are performing work as a protection. Vascular tissue, we know that vessels are there throughout the plant and that are helping to transport the material. Means food, then water, all sort of the things are transferred from one place to a required site or wherever that is to be deposited that is done by vascular tissue system, and third, that is the ground tissue system, which build up the body of the plant, works in photosynthesis, storage and support. Now, modified shoots with diverse functions have evolved in many plants that you have to keep in mind. These are the shoots, which include the stolon, rhizome, tubers, bulbs, are often which are mistaken for the roots. One example I will keep about you. Potato. What is potato? Potato काय? Potato underground आहे म्हणून ते काय root आहे का? नाही. तर that is actually storage organ. Modified, we have to say that structure is there, and that is used to store the extra food material which is synthesized during the photosynthesis. So that is actually stem. का त्याला स्टेम म्हणायचं? व्हाय टू स्टे द स्टेम? बिकॉज सम कॅरेक्टरिस्टिक्स आर दॅर विथ दॅट. ट्युबर आहे, तो पोटॅटो आहे, बटाटा आहे, आपण भरपूर खाल्लेला आहे. त्याला जर बघितलं तर बर्ड्स दिसतात, त्याच्यावर नोट्स, इंटरनोट स्ट्रक्चर दिसतं आहे, and that's why that is actually. Now in case of the stolons, such as the runner of the strawberry plants, grows on the surface and enable the plants to colonize large areas asexually when the parent plant fragments into a many smaller offsprings. You have to keep in mind. मी एक प्रश्न विचारेन. स्टॉलॉन्स आहेत, मेनी स्टॉलॉन्स आहेत, हे असेक्च्युअल रिप्रोडक्टिव्ह स्ट्रक्चर त्याच्यामध्ये आहे, हेल्प करतं आहे, त्याच्यामध्ये कवर करतं आहे एरिया. स्ट्रॉबेरी महाबळेश्वरला येते. नाव द प्लांट टिश्यूमध्ये, ग्राउंड टिश्यूमध्ये आपण बघतोय की सम मेजर टाइप्स इन द ग्राउंड टिश्यू विच आर वी हॅव टू से दॅट हेल्प इन ए बिल्डिंग ऑफ ए बॉडी ऑफ द प्लांट अँड हेल्प्स इन द प्रोसेस ऑफ फोटोसिंथेसिस, स्टोरेज. आपण त्या ग्राउंड टिश्यू बाबतीमध्ये बघतोय. सम मेजर टाइप्स ऑफ द प्लांट सेल्स, पॅरेन्कायमा, कोलेनकायमा अँड स्क्लेरेन्कायमा. ॲज ऑलरेडी आय हॅव सेड टू यू, टिश्यूज दॅट आर नायदर डर्मल nor vascular are the ground tissue. Ground tissue कुणाला म्हटले? which are neither dermal nor vascular, that are the ground tissue. Ground tissue internal to the vascular tissue is a pith. आपल्याला माहिती आहे की ॲनाटॉमिकल स्ट्रक्चर आपण जेव्हा सेक्शन घेतो एखाद्या प्लांटचा, सेंटरला त्याच्यामध्ये पीथ असते. ग्राउंड टिश्यू एक्सटर्नल टू द व्हॅस्क्युलर टिश्यू इज ए कॉर्टेक्स. म्हणजे कॉर्टेक्समध्ये ग्राउंड टिश्यू, पीथ म्हणजे ग्राउंड टिश्यू. दॅट यू हॅव टू कीप इन माइंड. ग्राउंड टिश्यूज इन्क्लूड्स द सेल्स स्पेशलाइज्ड फॉर द स्टोरेज, फोटोसिंथेसिस अँड support. You have to keep in mind anatomical structures are there that are helping to the plant in case of the storage, photosynthesis and support. Now parenchyma. Characteristics of the parenchyma is there. List specialized cell types. Structure is here that you will be able to see in case of this parenchyma. Only thin primary cell wall is present. When we want to see the structure of that one, you will come to know that. In case of parenchyma, thin primary cell wall is present. Possesses large central vacuole, मोठा central vacuole आहे त्याच्यामध्ये, पोकळी आहे. Possesses large central vacuole, generally alive at a functional maturity, isn't it? Functional maturity होते तेव्हा they becomes the little bit alive. Now what are the functions of parenchyma? Make up a most of the ground tissue of the plant. आपल्याला माहिती आहे की pith and cortex, that is made up of a, we have to say that the ground tissue, that are nothing but the ground tissue of the parenchyma. Then storage function, photosynthesis, leaf मध्ये आपल्याला ground tissue दिसतो, parenchyma दिसतात. त्याला पण can help in repair and replace damaged organs by the proliferation and specialized into other cells. Keep in mind, this is the most important function of a parenchyma. जेव्हा डॅमेज होतं, सेल डॅमेज होतात, त्यावेळेला त्या रिपेअर करण्याचं काम हे कोण करतं? पॅरेन्कायमा. Very interesting things are there that you have to keep in mind, and this is the structure of a parenchyma is there. Now in case of the colenchyma, colenchymaच्या बाबतीमध्ये होते possesses a thicker as compared to parenchyma. Cell wall thicker आहे. No secondary cell wall present. याच्यामध्ये secondary cell wall नाही. Generally alive at functional maturity. Provides supports without restraining growth. लक्षात येते? It helps colenchyma. Now sclerenchyma, most important, we have to say that the type of a cell is there. This is having a secondary cell wall strengthened by lignin. आता ह्या टिश्यूजवळच वेपन आहे, स्ट्रेंथ कडक आहे, म्हणजे काय करत असली पाहिजे, इट प्रोव्हाइड्स ए डेफिनेटली स्ट्रेंथ अँड सपोर्ट टू द टिश्यू बिकॉज इट इज ऑलरेडी वी हॅव टू से दॅट द हॅविंग ए स्ट्रेंथ अँड दॅट स्ट्रेंथ इज बिकॉज ऑफ डिपॉझिशन ऑफ ए lignin, isn't it? Often one dead at functional maturity. Functional maturity वेळी ते कशा असतात, डेड. त्याच्यामध्ये दोन फॉर्म्स आहेत. देर आर टू फॉर्म्स ऑफ ए दिस वी हॅव टू से दॅट द sclerenchyma strength providing we have to say that tissue that are the fibers and sclerites. Fibers and sclerites. Now fibers, we have to talk about the sclerenchymatous fibers are long. त्याला फायबर काय म्हटलं, लॉंग, स्लेंडर अँड टेपर्ड अँड युजली ऑकर इन ए ग्रुप. युजली ऑकर्स इन ए ग्रुप. दोज फ्रॉम हिम फायबर्स आर यूज्ड फॉर मेकिंग ए रोप अँड दोज फ्रॉम द फ्लॅक्स फॉर द विविंग इन टू ए लिनेन. सो दिस आर वी हॅव टू से दॅट द युजेस ऑफ ए फायबर कंटेनिंग प्लांट. स्ट्रक्चर कसं आहे बघा, लॉंग आहे, स्लेंडर आहे अँड टेपर्ड आहे अँड युजली ऑकर्स इन ए ग्रुप. In case of sclerites are shorter than the fibers, irregular in shape, impart the hardness to the nutshells and seed coats. So you have to keep in mind, आपल्याला माहीत आहे भुईमुगाच्या शेंगा त्याचं नटशेल आहे, त्याच्यामध्ये डेफिनेटली स्क्लेराइड्स आर देअर. Sclerenchymatous tissue. Now vascular tissue, as we know that they are performing job just to transport the food material and water and mineral from one place to another place, runs continuously throughout the plant, transports the material between the roots and shoots. म्हणजे लीफलाही जातं, नाही तर रूट अँड शूटला जातं, म्हणजे लीफला जातं का नाही. त्याचबरोबर ट्युबर्स जे मॉडिफाईड स्टेम आहे त्याच्यामध्ये फूड. इथे एक्झाम्पल एक लक्षात ठेवा माय फ्रेंड्स, बटाटा वाढत जातो, इन्क्रीज इन द साईज, एनलार्ज इन द साईज बिकॉज ऑफ डिपॉझिशन ऑफ ए स्टार्च इन टू दॅट वन. दॅट स्टार्च ॲक्च्युली गेट सिंथेसाइज्ड इन टू ए लीफ आणि लीफपासून त्या स्टोरेज ऑर्गनपर्यंत येते थ्रू द व्हेसल्स अँड दॅट आर द फ्लोएम. फूड मटेरियल ट्रान्सपोर्टेड. पण हे फूड तयार होण्यासाठी वॉटरची गरज आहे. झायलेम इज तयार, म्हणजे रूटकडून शूटकडं पाणी जे घेऊन जातो तो झायलेम टिश्यू. दॅट इज मोस्ट इम्पॉर्टंट व्हॅस्क्युलर टिश्यू. अगेन फ्लोएम इज ऑल्सो इम्पॉर्टंट व्हॅस्क्युलर टिश्यू. Now here, structure of xylem, main water conducting tissue of a vascular plants, arises from the individual cylindrical cells oriented end to end. So here the structure you will be able to see in case of the vascular tissue, that is a xylem, isn't it? Border bits are there. At maturity the end walls of these cells dissolves away and cytoplasm content die. At maturity the end walls of this one gets, we have to say that, becomes a dead, isn't it? Cytoplasmic content die. The result is xylem vessels, a continuous non-living duct form तयार होते, pipe सारखं स्ट्रक्चर तयार होते, carries the water and some dissolved solids such as the inorganic ions up to the plant. So this is the structure of a vascular, we have to say that tissue type, that is of a xylem. You will be able to see very well how the things are going to happen. You have to sketch the diagram, label the diagram, then you have to read the theory of that written matter. Now in case of the phloem, already I have said to you, phloem is a food conducting tissue. It is made up of a two main component, that is a sieve element and companion म्हणजे आपल्याला मदत करणारा, कंपनी देणारा, माय कंपॅनियन, isn't it, who is accompanying to us. Sieve element, sieve म्हणजे जाळी, isn't it. Sieve element have no nucleus, त्याच्यामध्ये न्यूक्लियस नाही, and only a spares a collection of other cell organs. Companion cells provides energy. आपल्याला आपल्याबरोबर मित्र असले की आपल्याला एनर्जी मिळते. This help in case of transporting food material from one place to another place because of companion cell. सो नेम्ड बिकॉज एंड वॉल्स आर परफोरेटेड, त्याचे एंड वॉल्स ह्या परफोरेटेड आहे, त्याला होल्स आहेत, कनेक्टिंग विथ द व्हर्टिकली स्टॅक्ड सेल्स. दुसऱ्या स्टॅक सेलला त्या सीव प्लेटच्या बाबतीमध्ये आपण सांगितलं आहे. तर सीव म्हणजे जाळी, प्लेट आहे, सीव एरियाज दिलेला आहे तिथं. तो सीव प्लेट्स आर देअर, यू विल बी एबल टू सी हिअर ऑल्सो. सो कंपॅनियन सेल्स मीन्स दिस सेल विच इज अटॅच्ड टू दिस आवर सीव एलिमेंट. सीव एलिमेंटला कंपॅनियन सेल अटॅच झालेले. इट प्रोव्हाइड्स ए एनर्जी. कंपॅनियन सेल हॅविंग अ रोल इन conducting of food material from one place to another place. So this is a structure of a second type of a vascular tissue, that is a complex tissue, phloem. Phloem झालेला complex tissue आपण म्हणतोय because that is made up of a many elements. आता तुम्ही मला phloem मध्ये किती एलिमेंट्स आहेत? मोर दॅन 2 एलिमेंट्स. कुठले? 4. सीव एलिमेंट्स, कंपॅनियन सेल्स, फ्लोएम पॅरेन्कायमा अँड फ्लोएम स्क्लेरेन्कायमा. 4 एलिमेंटनं फ्लोएम बनलेला आहे. झायलेमचंही तसंच आहे. झायलेम इज मेड अप ऑफ ए सीव ट्रकियार्ड्स, व्हेसल्स, झायलेम स्क्लेरेन्कायमा अँड झायलेम पॅरेन्कायमा. दॅट्स वाय these two tissue are not a simple tissue, but they are complex tissue made up of a more than 2 types of a elements. Keep in mind. Now, phloem transport requires specialized living cells. My friends, which are those sieve tubes element join to form a continuous tube form होते. Pores in the sieve plate. See the sieve plate आहे. या sieve प्लेटला होल्स आहेत. एकाला एक जोडली की ह्याच्यातून दुसरीत येतं, दुसरीतून परत तिसरीत जाणार. So pores in the sieve plates are between the sieve tube. Elements are often channels for the transport. Each sieve tube element is associated with one another. Already I have sketched a diagram. एकाला एक जॉईंट झाले असेल. मोर कंपॅनियन सेल्स, त्याच्या शेजारी असणारी ही कंपॅनियन सेल आहे, हे एकमेकाला जॉईंट झालेले आहेत. कंपॅनियन सेल प्रोव्हाइड्स द एनर्जी, isn't it? Many plasmodesmata penetrate the walls between the sieve tube elements and companion cell. इथं प्लाझ्मोडेस्माटा आहे, तिथं मध्ये. Am I right? Plasmodesmata are there. Many more are there. Plasmodesmata in between 2 cells. Keep in mind इथं companion cell आणि मध्ये close relationship, have a ready exchange of solids between the 2 cells is there. So this is a little bit structure. Again and again I will tell to you, you have to sketch the diagram, you will have to label the diagram, and then you will be able to understand or digest the exact structure of this phloem. Now companion cell, phloem transport requires the in case of companion cell, role is to transport of a photosynthesis product from producing cells in the mature leaves to the sieve plate. sieve plate पर्यंत आणण्याचं काम कोण करत आहे? sieve plate म्हणजे हे एरिया. दॅट कंपॅनियन सेल्स. कंपॅनियन सेल्स कुठं आहेत? या इथं आहेत, लक्षात ठेवा. ते अटॅच झालेली दिसते ना आपल्याला, दॅट इज अ कंपॅनियन सेल. सिंथेसिस ऑफ ए व्हेरियस प्रोटीन्स यूज्ड इन द फ्लोएम. फ्लोएममध्ये जे प्रोटीन्स तयार झालेले आहेत, that are used here for production of energy. Synthesis of various proteins used in the phloem. Then contains many mitochondria. For say, आता already we have said that this companion cell provides the energy. मग तिथं मेकॅनिझम पाहिजे, यंत्रणा पाहिजे जी आपल्याला एनर्जी तयार करेल. We know that actually mitochondria is the energy producer that is present in the companion cell, and with the help of food material they are producing the energy. That energy helps that companion cells to give to the sieve plates, or we have to say that it provides, we have to say that the structure to the energy to its, we have to say that the friend. So here you have to keep in mind how these things are going to happen. This is the actually sieve tube, and sieve tube is accompanied by, this is a sieve tube accompanied by the companion cell. Companion cell provides the energy, and this energy is produced in a mitochondria. That you have to keep in mind. There are the three types: ordinary companion cell, transfer cells are there, and intermediary cells are there. With this, my friends, today I have taken an effort just to give you an idea about the structure of cell I have. So what homework I would like to give to you, you will have to sketch the diagram of a cell, label properly, see the functions of each and every, we have to say that structure, like cell wall, plasma membrane, cytoplasm, which things are involved into cytoplasm, then nuclear membrane, the nuclear structure. So each and everything you will have to first of all understand, sketch very well, label that very well. That homework you have to do. Again, you have to sketch the tissue types of the tissue. So various tissue you have to sketch, cell structure you have to sketch, parenchyma, sclerenchyma, then in case of xylem, phloem, all sort of the things, and then you will come to know that the things. With this, I have to say that, my friends, thank you very much.